All right, welcome everyone and welcome Bhargavi. First of all, congratulations on your PMP certification. So
You?
we are here just to listen to your lessons learned. What was your exam strategy? What was the exam questions? And which resources you use. So we'll be starting from the basics, and then participants will be asking questions regarding exam preparation. So once again, congratulations, and I'm really happy for your success. So I think you joined my course in March, right?
Right.
Okay.
This year was a roller coaster for me. There were some unfortunate situations and I couldn't, but my plan was to write it in May.
Yeah, I understand. I know, and we spoke about that after the course as well, like when you would be
Yeah,
the exam. Okay, wonderful. So let's start with basic question. What was your exam strategy? Like, what did you do? Which reference books you studied? So just give us a summary of your methodology or the technique that you use.
sure. Um, Actually, I just written all the tips you have given me.
Okay.
I still have them. I should have it in my notebook. I can share it again if anyone needed it.
Okay.
But basically, I made sure that I read the whole Rita
Okay.
Mulcahy book two times.
Okay.
The first time I've taken a week, read it thoroughly, and the second time I just brushed it up in like 2 or 3 days. And this was the first 10 days. And the next 5 days, I was just doing the mocks. Every mock which was shared by you,
Okay.
I just did like, 2 mocks a day.
Okay.
And
Means around 200 questions in a day, because around there were 100 questions in one mock.
yes, yes,
Okay.
I guess so. So I've done like 2 mocks, and a day, I think I've also done 3 mocks.
Okay.
And if I remember correctly, there were one mock paper for each of the
Yeah.
chapters. And
Around 10
finally,
were
there,
chapter wise, and then there were five full tests.
yes, right. So I've done all of them.
Okay.
I think the first 10, I mean, for each chapter,
Mm-hmm.
I think I've done like 3 papers a day or 4 papers a day. I don't remember, but I've done all the mock papers in like 5 days.
So actually, you followed a very simple preparation strategy. This is what I used to suggest to my students. Like, do not run after so many books or so many resources. Just read one good book. So Bhargavi has studied from Rita Mulcahy book. So PMP exam prep by Rita Mulcahy. I have found this book really good for exam preparation. And second thing that I recommend is solve my mock exam, so which Bhargavi has solved. So, I have around 2,000 mock exam questions, which are of very high quality in terms of level of difficulty and in terms of language. So they are at par with real exam. So read the book, solve mock exam. That's the simple strategy that you need to follow. There's no need to rush after so many books, so many resources. So just keep things simple. All right. So how much total time, Bhargavi, you took to prepare for the exam? You said you spent a week in reading the book and then mock. So effectively, what was the duration in which you studied and completed your preparation?
It is 15 days, just like you
Wow.
suggested
Wow.
earlier.
Wow. 15 days.
I've just exactly followed your tips. And I mean, if I have done it right after the
Course.
course, it would have been much more easier to go through the book or to go through the concepts. But still, it was fine. I had your notes, it was very helpful. And so the slides which you shared.
Yeah.
And the Rita Mulcahy book, like skimming through it 2 times
Mm-hmm.
and doing the mocks. This is all I did. And one thing I kept in mind is that stepping into the shoes of the person who is mentioned in the question.
Okay.
Right. So looking at from for example, if the question is about project managers, so looking at things from project manager's perspective, or whatever the role is. Yes. One more important thing that I strongly recommend to my student is just stay consistent. So it's very easy to pass the exam in 30 days, but problem with most of the students is that they lose the pace after the course. They attend the course, and after that they couldn't maintain that pace and that determination or commitment. So I have seen a lot of my students who attended my course in 2021, 2022, and they still they're preparing and they haven't written the exam. So the moment you complete the course, stay consistent and read the book, solve mock exam, and just do it. Once you do it, then you move to the next target. Otherwise, it would be, kind of lingering on and it would create problem. So yes, simple strategy, read one book, solve mock exam, and go for the exam. So did you take the exam at home or at designated Pearson centers?
I've done it in the center.
Okay.
And one other thing, actually, I did not need any pen at all.
Okay.
I mean, while I was solving the mock questions which you have given, I really needed a pen and a paper. But frankly speaking, after writing your mocks, when I was doing my exam, I really felt that it was easier.
Yeah, because as I mentioned earlier, the mock exams are prepared to help you or to make you ready for the exam. So sometimes they're slightly difficult if I compare it
Mm,
with real exam, so that you are fully ready. You expect like these kind of questions you could see in the exam. So yes, uh, intentionally a level of difficulty is added in the mock exam so that you're well prepared
right.
before the exam. And I have seen this comment from a lot of my students, like the language and difficulty level of those mock exam is at par with the real exam, and the way questions are framed. So yes, once you solve those mock exams, then the real exam becomes very, very easier or simpler. So yes, mock exams are very important. Okay, wonderful. So these are some basic questions. So over to the audience, if you guys have any question, you can ask to Bhargavi about exam preparation. Anyone, please?
Yeah, am I unmuted?
Yeah, go ahead, Phyllis.
So you said that you read the book twice. So the first time you just read it without pause, and then the second one you went and how did you read it the second time around?
Okay, the first time when I've been reading, I did make some notes.
Okay.
And the first time I have read every word of it, every page of it, and I've gone through the whole book. But the second time, while I was reading, I know what needs attention and what doesn't. And based on my understanding and my level of confidence, I was able to do the whole book in like 3 days.
So the second time you just focused on your gap areas, so to speak.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, you can say
Okay.
that.
Okay.
Because I mean, I did not have much of gap. I've read the whole book once, and
Uh-huh.
immediately I've again skimmed through the whole book again,
Mhm.
concentrating on the areas which needed attention, and it was fine. I was able to do it, and
Okay.
after that, I've done the mocks, and it was fine. And one other suggestion, uh, when you are doing mocks, right? Like if at all you have enough time and you have enough patience, I would suggest, like, do one mock test, and once you're done, verifying your questions, again, read the chapter once more. That would help. For me, I was just in a hurry to just get done with the exam, and I did not put in a lot of efforts. But if at all you have time, and if you're ready to put more efforts, after every mock exam, read the corresponding chapter once. That would help in, like, maybe gaining more confidence in the subject.
Yes, this is very important. For example, when
Thank
you
you.
solve mock exam, then you see a lot of question which you have marked incorrectly. You can review the explanation, like what were your thoughts when you marked that option, and what's the actual explanation. So reading the explanation is very, very important. And then you can go through the book to consolidate your concept. So absolutely right. Do the mock and then review those areas where you haven't performed well. Good. Alan?
Yeah, to perform the mock exams, it did you do it like first reading so quickly and uh, thinking like you're doing the real exam, or you do it slowly and analyze all the questions?
Um, Actually, the chapter wise questions, I've done it slowly, analyzing every question and properly trying to answer it. But while I was doing the mocks, I timed myself. I put a timer and tried to do that as an exam. So it helped me practice the timing as well. And frankly speaking, I was done with the exam on time, because I did some good practice with those 4 mock exams. It was helpful, doing the timing and trying to really mock the exam.
Uh, Amar, a quick question from my side. Should I go ahead?
Go ahead, please.
Okay. Hey, Bhargavi, congratulations
Mhm.
for your clearing of PMP examinations. Okay, so
Thank you.
I'm going to talk about the way back 1 or 2 years back, where all the PMP aspirants take 1 year of preparation minimum.
Mhm.
That's a bare minimum 1 year of preparation. And Amar Bhai knows all the difficulties that we have faced. So, considering those the timelines, when compared to your timelines, is 15 days what I hear from you. Okay, so
Right.
how would you plan your 15 days? So, if I understand correctly, have you spent only 15 days of preparation of your overall PMP examination?
No. Uh, like I mentioned earlier, my life was a roller coaster through this 1 year. Immediately after the course, I did spend some time in reading the book. Meanwhile, I had some incident. One of my family member met with
Okay.
a very serious accident. So
Okay.
again, I had a break. Then again, later I started studying. I tried to go through the book. Then again, I lost another family member. Again, I had a lot of break with my work and everything in my family. And in this regard, I did read the book multiple times, but again, there was a lot of gap. The second time when I started reading, it was May, and after that, I only started reading it right before, like 15 days before the exam. There was a lot of gap in between, but yes, I did read it now and then, here and there. So I can't just say that, I only did 15 days. I did do through the year, but it was like with a lot of breaks.
Okay. On and off preparation. Okay. So which book
Yeah.
you prefer mostly? Because way back in 2019, we found a Pimbok book very technical terms, and we refer Rita Mulki and a lot of suggestions from Ammar Bhai. Okay, so which book you prefer mostly to prepare?
I only did Rita Malkahi and nothing else. I just followed whatever Amar has suggested. He suggested, like, even doing just one book properly and concentrating it is good enough. I did that. And apart from that, while I was attending the course, I made a lot of notes. Um, Earlier, Alan asked me, like, how much time, I mean, how did you write the exams? Frankly speaking, writing the exam took me only 2 30 minutes for the mock. But to verify my answers, to go through the answers, and to understand why I did it wrong and why I did it right, why is it, I mean, like analyzing each option, everything was mentioned in the mock exam answers. And to verify it and to recheck my knowledge on every other option, it's like, it took me 4 or 5 hours for each of the mock exam just
Are
to go through the options and the explanation. And frankly speaking, if you just do one book and the mocks, you're good enough, because the book explains you or gives you the technical knowledge, but it is not enough to do the situational questions or situationally answering the questions. But when you do the mock, you will understand the situations and you really step into the shoes of the person who is acting there.
all
That
right.
makes the
So, Amar, I think yeah, I took this class I think in June, July, and as you mentioned, this has been a long break. So my New Year resolution is to pass this exam. So I'm trying now. So I think there is no new set of mocks, right? It's the same which you have shared in the classroom training, the same notes and everything is
Yes, yes, it's same. I
notes.
have just
Okay.
updated the notes. I can show you. I have just updated the notes. That's a different thing. So, can you see my screen? Is it visible to all of you?
Mm-hmm.
So these are the lesson-wise notes that I have compiled. So you can review these. These would be helpful for you for your exam because I have added a lot of agile related concepts in these notes. So if you review these notes, then you don't need anything else because these notes cover 100% of the exam content, but with the book, right? Read the book and review these notes. Most of my students, they take notes during the class, but as you know, I don't use PowerPoint slides. I use notes. So I draw these during the slides, so during the classes. So you can read these. So there are only 9 pages. So I think this could be an additional resource that would be helpful to you.
So Amar, do I need to write to you for this new notes? I mean, get
Yeah,
this.
just drop me a message at the end of the session. I will be sharing that with you.
I was just asking from Agile how many questions came. I mean, because I
Yeah,
think the
she has
majority was.
already answered, like she couldn't exactly tell the percentage, like what is the percentage of agile and waterfall. But these days, most of my students are saying like most of the questions are from agile side. So yes, focus on that because that is very, very important for exam.
Thank you.
That's what, that's where I said, like I added a lot of agile concepts in the notes, right? So when you review the notes, you'll see a lot of concepts regarding agile. Then you can read the book to understand those concepts. Smita.
Yeah, thanks, Ammar. Bhargavi, congratulations once again for inspiring us to go for this exam.
Thank you.
I'm still at the application stage, but looking at these success stories, what Ammar generally pulls us in into the Zoom calls. Thank you, Ammar, a lot for arranging these calls because it takes you a step further and making you more confident in filling up the application and going for it. Thank you so much.
Welcome, Smita. Thank you so much. Yes, these are important because trends, or I would say the difficulty level of exams and various other patterns are changing. So A lot of students are saying there are, as I mentioned, agile related questions are there. Some students are not able to pass the exam, so they also share their experience. So that's why these kind of lessons learned sessions are very important. So just to be aware, like what's going on in real exam. So that is really, really helpful. All right. Anas, do you have a question?
Yes. Hi. Congratulations on your achievements. My question, how did you manage your time during the exam? Any tips for time management that you found effective?
Like I mentioned, while I was doing the mock exams, I timed my exam. And for me, Ammar actually, I remember a tip which Ammar told us. Sometimes when I lose my focus when, I just keep going on reading. So Ammar has given us a suggestion, first read the question and then read the question part, like try to understand what they are asking first, and then read the situation and everything. So that is what I did, and it actually helped me. So once I know once I know what is the output needed, I know what to concentrate on reading and what not to concentrate. So in that way, it helped me in saving some time in reading the whole question.
Absolutely right. So first is you timed your quizzes or mock exams. That's one way of making sure that like you'll be able to complete the exam on time. Second is there are different strategies that you use during the exam. For example, you read the last line of the question first to understand what's the main question, and then you read from the start, and then you go to the option. So this is one way of doing that. Second is just quickly read the question for the first time to understand the basic kind of situation, and then read it again, thoroughly read it. So that's another way of looking at question. And then, when you understand the situation, then use elimination technique to eliminate options which are clearly not relevant or irrelevant, then focus on two options. So in most of the question, you'll see like two options are easier to eliminate and two are very difficult. So just focus on those two. So this is how you can manage your time. And since now the exam is in 3 sessions, session 1, session 2, session 3, like in breaks, so you can spend first 80 minutes in session 1, then 70 minutes on session 2, then remaining 70 or 75 minutes in session 3. So this is how you can manage your time. So while you're doing the exam, have a look at the clock, because the clock is in front of you. So make sure that you complete first 60 question in 80 minutes in first session. So if you do that, means you're on the right track. If you're spending more than that, like 90, 100, means you need to be a little faster. So first is before the exam, you need to make sure like you're timing your quizzes, you're completing the quizzes within time, like try to do it one question in 1 minute. This is how you practice. And then during the exam, use these strategies.
Right. Thank you so much.
Alan, do you have a question?
Yeah, and the last one. Just one comment that the books mention is that you must forget a little bit of your experience work, and you must to focus on the what is the right way for PMI or for the book knowledge. So did you try to focus, or did you avoid all your knowledge regarding management, or how do you try to understand the question? I don't know if I'm explaining well.
Yeah, this is actually a very interesting question. There is something called unlearning. So there are some things that we need to unlearn, and there are some things we need to learn, and there are some things that we have to make it stronger. So the when you start reading the Rita Mulcahy, you will understand a few. And frankly speaking, for me, Rita Malkahi was just like, an overview, and it was not very situational. Wherein, like, there are not many situations or not many examples given in the Rita Malkahi. But when I was doing the mock, there were so many situations. Like, every question is a new situation. And that is when actually the unlearning or learning comes into the picture, more into it. Because
Okay.
while I was doing mock, I really realized that there are a lot of things which are going wrong or which I learnt it wrong.
Okay. Thank you.
So yeah, in that way, mocks is not just for the exam, it is for you to, like, really understand how to relate yourself with the situations and how to analyze a situation. And really, the mocks are not just for the exam, it is for testing yourself and testing, like, how would you analyze? Are you a real good leader? Are you really good at managing? Are you really a good team player?
Okay.
It helps you understand that.
Oh, I feel a little bit nervous, right? But yeah, okay.
All right. So, any other question, anyone? Before we end the session and say once again thank you to Bhargavi. So, I think no question. So, if I summarize what we have discussed based on Bhargavi's learnings, focused on limited resources. Read one book. One book is sufficient. Do mock exams, make your notes, take notes while reading, or you can use my notes as cheat sheet as well. And I think that's the simple strategy. Read the book, do the mock exams, reread the book. So read the book twice. This is what I recommend to my students. Read the book twice, do the mock, and then review your answers. That's the simple strategy. And if you get around 70% marks on average in my mocks, it means you're good to go for the exam. So 70%, and that's what you can keep a target in your mind. So that's it. I think if you follow this strategy, you'll be able to pass the exam very easily. All right. Thank you so much, everybody. Special thanks to Bhargavi. Once again, congratulations. And your lessons or learnings would be very, very helpful for all the future PMPs who are there and those who will be watching this recording. Thank you all for joining and wish you all very best of luck for your exam, for your preparation. Don't hesitate to contact me if you need any kind of help, any resource or anything for your exam. All right. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you,
you,
man.
and
Bye.
all the best, everyone. I will leave my phone number in the group, and if at all anyone wants to connect with me personally, feel free to do that.
Thank you, Bhargavi. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.